I am so thrilled to be talking to Hospice of Southern Illinois, such great ladies and great program partners of ours. So welcome, Malice Oakley. Great to see you, and Debra
Thank you.
Hogg. Malice is the program coordinator, community education coordinator, sorry about that, for Hospice of Southern Illinois, and Debra is the manager of community education. So great to have you both spend some time with me. I know you're both very busy ladies, but you have been such great program partners with AGE-u-cate, and would just love to talk about your personal journey and why the decision to bring Dementia Live on board. But let's first start with a little bit of who is Hospice of Southern Illinois? Where are you? When did you get started?
Well, we serve Southern Illinois. We have 27 counties in Southern Illinois that we serve, and it's been since 1981. So we are pioneers in the hospice industry. Hospice is all we do. We are a community-based, freestanding, not-for-profit hospice program, and we provide services we have two offices that serve areas. So the Marion office is where Malice and I are. We have 17 counties that we serve, and very excited to do that. The remaining counties are served by the Belleville office.
Wonderful, wonderful. So long time in this area. You said 17 counties?
Yeah, 17 counties for the Marion office where we're at.
Yeah.
We serve 17 of the 27.
Okay, so
Yeah.
wide area. Okay,
Yeah.
so doing great things, and you decided about 3 years ago to bring on Dementia Live as part of your program. Obviously, staff training and outreach. Tell me the story of why did you
Well,
decide to bring it on, and how did you roll it out?
I want to give all of that credit to Malice because she's a surfer on the internet, and she came across, she was so hungry. She had only been with me for a year, although I've known her for a very long time, and we had cared for some of her family members. So it was exciting to bring her on, but she's so passionate about learning and being able to find the tools to take out in community. She brought the project to me and said, look at this. I think this is something we need to get involved in. We did our research on it and said, yes, absolutely. This is something we think this would work. And because we were right in COVID time, that had kicked in, and that we couldn't go into facilities, we couldn't see our seniors, we couldn't spend time with them because of the COVID. But my experience with my mother was diagnosed in about 2005. We thought she was about 5 years in to her Alzheimer's, and we had almost every incident or situation that could happen with a person who's coming in early stages, mid stages, and later. My mother experienced all of that, and there were 5 of us. I have 4 siblings, and there were 5 of us. I was the one that stepped in and took care of my mother, and I was with her for the last 18 months of her life. She did like a 10-year term with Alzheimer's, but the last 18 months I took care of her in her home and worked full time, and had my mother-in-law at my home, which she was living with my husband and I. So we had ourselves a nice little dynamic going on. But I have to tell you that what I was able to do because of my mother's physician, he told me when he diagnosed her, he said, the one thing that I can tell you that will make your life a lot more enjoyable in the time you spend with your mother is do not try to keep her in your world. Go to hers. And whatever it is that she's doing, as long as she's not hurting herself and she's not hurting anyone else, you live in her world. Where she's at, jump in, join, have fun. And that's exactly what I did. And I have to say that my mother passed away in 2009. And I look back on that and I smile because I was given the tools to be with my mother and to understand where she was. I have great memories, incredible memories of our time together. We laughed and we cried a lot, but it meant a lot. And in the end, so having that experience and her bringing this in and her having 4 family members that had gone through this, the 2 of us together, we were like a ball of fire. And when we started reading it, even though we brought it in, and of course our staff was the first one we did, we were so excited. And as we continued to train, and it was like, well, wait a minute, we haven't gone through this. We didn't do the experience. So her and I did it together. And we thought we knew what all of this was about. Having cared for a loved one, you think you know what Alzheimer's is about. Until you do this project, you really don't have a full understanding of what. We both cried, saying, oh my gosh, that's what this is all about. That's what they were experiencing. You know, when you figure out, I could have done things a little differently, and it would have been better for both of us. But just having that understanding of what they're going through. So that only fired us up. It truly fired us up. So away we went. And we started with our facilities, and we were able to get into some of them because of COVID. But fortunately, that settled down and we went out full force. And it was amazing. And what we found is that with the hard work of Malice and Misty on my team and them getting out and sharing this, people are now calling us. We were out there beating bushes, trying to get in the door to present this. We've now done it. We've exceeded 2,500. I think probably we look at March, we're probably going to be close to 2,800. In doing that, it now has given us that continued excitement to keep going. But now people are calling us, families are calling us, because facilities are telling families, you know what, you need to call Hospice of Southern Illinois because they offer this program that will mean a lot to you. So we have families coming into our office. We use our conference room and we set it all up, and we do 2 or 4. Anyone who wants to go through it, we encourage them. Come on, we're doing it. We probably would do it in the parking lot. If we could.
I would do it
because it's so meaningful.
Yes.
And I think at the end of the day, when we are done, when we look at what we've been able to accomplish, the people we've been able to touch and help, that can truly make a difference in their loved one's life and end of life, that's a gift. It's
Absolutely.
a gift. Yeah.
Well, you both are absolutely Dementia Live champions, cheerleaders, all of that put together. And it started from the heart. I mean, what wonderful advice you had, Deborah, from the physician that said, step into her world. That's exactly what we say in our training. But, you know, when we look at what Dementia Live offers for program partners, obviously it's the training piece and it's all that. You took it to the next level of going beyond and really reaching your community with it. Tell me a little bit about what it meant on the business side. So, you know, your passion obviously is just oozing with, you know, with just that and wanting to share this with others, knowing that it's going to be impactful. But the other side of it is, what has it done for the business of Hospice of Southern Illinois?
Right. It exploded. And in doing so, within the first year, we saw our business and our census go up 20%. And I think probably a combination of the two for sure, that, you know, providing this service to our referral sources and out in our community is huge. But I think too, coming out of COVID, and there were a lot of people that were locked down, they were isolated, they didn't get to see a lot, do a lot. So the timing for us was perfect. So now, and it's not just the fact that we are serving more patients and families, but that is what we do. That's our goal. But it's the relationships that we've been able to build, the trust that we have been able to instill with our referral sources and with our partners out in community, with our community in general. We've been able to establish an exceptional relationships with them that they call us not just for the dementia and Alzheimer's, but also for other resources. So we have just been truly blessed by this program, and the excitement, I think, is very evident.
We can use
Absolutely.
this.
Yeah.
We can use this as a vehicle to start, like she said, to start relationships with individuals. I feel like we're more trusted. And I also, because we're bringing something to the table, we're helping individuals cope with this disease and also other things. I have a learning disability, and I can also see that being applied to not just with dementia, but also with learning disabilities and so forth. So this is something that can be into the communities and help us as community members to be better at being kind to people, understanding that we're all not in the same boat. We have different views. We have different things, how we just take the information and being able to hear things and so forth. And that's why I'm so passionate about it. My grandfather, my uncle, my dad, and my aunt all had it. My dad was the last person, and I was 42 years old. So from my beginning of life to 42 years old, I did not know life without Alzheimer's. And I thought I understood it until we went through this. And it was, like you say, an aha moment. We realize how important it is to let people know this and to see it and to actually slip into what it feels like. And, being able to bring that to the table and telling individuals when we go into those facilities and when we go into community, hey, use us, let us teach you to find out how it is, because we all don't take the information and process it the same way. So that's why we feel like that this program will help community be better community. And it's a win-win. And we don't know what it feels like to have it, and you're such a small time, but you get that glimpse and you realize. And I think it also with interaction with, we go into facilities and memory care units, and like the other day instance, there was a gentleman that was just dropped off by his caregivers, and that's it. They just dropped him off and left. So you've got a gentleman that is dementia or Alzheimer's. He is dropped out at a foreign place. He wouldn't get out of his room. So I went in, I talked to him. I kind of, made him have a little bit of like trust with me. And I was able to get him into to go and eat and to the dining room. And so I thought to myself, because I could only imagine having all that stuff and being able to process it and not understanding and that's the thing, I slipped myself into that. And I think that helps us with dealing with those ones that have dementia and Alzheimer's.
Well, you've impacted 2,800 people in your community to better understand and build empathy. That's huge. That's a huge impact.
Yes.
2,800. We know it's endless, right? We know that
Yes.
you've not even touched the surface.
That
But
is true.
let's talk about, because one of the things that we know you've done amazingly well is reach different entities in the community. So talk a little bit about who you're going to educate, who you've been educating, because I think others need to hear this.
So we've gone into long-term care facilities, assisted living. We've also done state police officer, like we've done the Illinois State Police. We have gone into prisons because a lot of your prisons have got a lot of the older population. So we went and we did the staff there. We have done, where else?
White College.
Oh, we've gone
nursing
into
classes.
nursing classes. So I call them the baby nurses. We've also gone into high schools. We've done psychology classes because they usually have a unit. But a lot of your CNA classes, your LPN, and then your RNs. So we have just been able to dive into that. We get the relationships. The instructors realize what an incredible tool it is. And then they are seeking us every semester to be able to come in, and with those new people that are coming into the medical field, and even if they don't pursue that process or they go into that career, just to know that, if you're 65 and older, you have a 1 in 10 chance of having it. 85, you have a 1 in 3 chance. And that's what is so amazing. And I feel like it is something that once you start, it just goes and it's just endless. And that's what's so exciting, that we are helping people. And to me, it's a win-win.
I think
Absolutely.
one of the places that we are weak in, one of the industries that we are weak in is retail. And I think that restaurants and retail stores are a good approach, because of the people that they interact with and how important it is for their staff to understand what is happening when someone is standing before them and they're struggling with, trying
Counting
to
change
yeah,
or
to finish the transaction, or just to get assistance in whatever it is that they might need. If their staff understands what they're, and recognizes what they're looking at with an individual, they can better serve. So we're talking customer service. This is about good customer service as well. Not only having the empathy and the understanding of what someone is going through who might be experiencing dementia, but also just to be compassionate with them and a better understanding, so you can recognize what might be happening with them.
That is absolutely the initiative of dementia-friendly communities
Mhm.
is,
Yeah.
And we're
broad
trying to
base
implement it.
segment,
Yeah. Now,
sector education.
we work with Egyptian Area Agency on Aging here locally, and they have a card that they provide for us that says, I am with a family member that has dementia, please be understanding. And you can pass that to your waitress or your waiter, or someplace that you go in, just to have, without saying anything, you can share the message so that people understand what it is that you might be experiencing if you're taking a loved one into a restaurant or into a retail store to shop.
They also have lanyards and so forth that can, depending on where they're at in the disease, maybe they could wear a lanyard and that can say, hey, I'm a person that's living with dementia.
So we reach out, we're constantly researching, we're constantly looking for things that can enhance and can assist with the people that we're putting through the program.
Yeah, you're definitely collaborators in the community, obviously, with all the connections you have with area agency and the different organizations that you're training through this. I would say you're definitely dementia-friendly stakeholders, whether that's official or not, you are.
Well, we're actually working on that
and implementing, and we would like
Yes.
to also, with that, we would want to start with the Dementia Live experience too.
Yes. So we are in the process of making Marion a dementia-friendly community. So Malice and I both are dementia-friendly members. We have certificates for that. So yes, we wanted to bring it to Marion. There are Carterville and Carbondale locally are dementia-friendly communities. So we wanted to bring that to Marion as well. So we're working on that. Malice and I are serving on the committee of individuals to make this happen. So yeah.
Terrific. You are definitely making a positive impact in your area in huge ways. And I know you see all the opportunity ahead, but you've certainly made a huge impact already. And we just thank you for being part of our mission.
Yes, and the other thing is that we also have done pet therapy too, and that is something that has been really good to putting those things together, just to be able to enhance this, because there is amazing things that you can do with the pet therapy. And we also are trying to partner. Our next initiative is doing with Blue Cross and Blue Shield. It's a pretty big organization in this community that we're going to partner with and start with trying to get the employees to understand the importance of this project and how they need to be trained and understand individuals with dementia.
Terrific. Do you want to
Mhm.
talk about the resource guide that you're
Oh yeah.
Oh,
working
yeah.
on?
We have contracted to get an introduction to hospice book that we can share in community. It tells about all of our services and our resources, and we have featured Dementia Live experience in that resource guide. And it is, again, an incredible gift for us. It's something that we have to offer to our community that we think is of incredible value. And we are so pleased that we received permission to include that information in our guide, along with our pet therapy program as well, because that's what's so amazing. We talk about the Dementia Live experience, but we haven't talked so much about what the pet therapy has done and some of the experiences that Malice has had when we're in presenting this to staff. You see those people who are experiencing end stage or mid stage Alzheimer's dementia, and she takes a pet in. We have Millie, who's a King Charles Cavalier, and we have Blue, who's a Aussie Doodle, mini Aussie Doodle. But what happens to an individual that you place a pet in front of them that they can touch, and what that does to them. So I'm going to let Malice tell you a couple of stories about people that have been Alzheimer's patients and what it meant for the dog and what we were able to see happen with someone who is nonverbal, and then everything changes.
So one I love this story. So there was a gentleman that I said he was in the late stages of Alzheimer's, and I was in a memory unit in Southern Illinois, and his I say the lights weren't on, so no kind of interaction, very just stonewalled, no emotions. His wife was sitting next to him, and I asked her if I could take Millie and put him in his lap, and she's like, absolutely. So I look over, and his eyes opened, like, oh, he woke up. He didn't say anything, but you could tell he was making the facial expressions, and he started to smile. So I look over at his wife. She starts crying, and I'm like, what is wrong? And she's like, well, I haven't seen him smile in 3 months. And so we sat there and we cried, and we got about 4 to 5 minutes of just great interaction with him. And then he slowly just went down, but it was amazing. And it was such a moment and a beautiful thing to see, that I said, I wish I could have got that on camera, because in order to see it, me saying it is one thing, but to see it, and that's such a blessing. God has blessed us with this. The other thing is I had a young lady, she was probably in her 90s, and she would not talk to me, but I had Millie and Blue, and I was conversating with her and so forth. And she wasn't talking to me, but then she looked at Millie, started to smile, and started barking at her. So she was verbally, and it was so funny because I have a video of it, and Millie was just like tilting her head like, what's going on here? And it was so funny. And then she quit, but I got something out of her, and she realized, and just to see how that connection, I said, if I could get a singing dog, we would be golden.
No kidding. Touching moments for that family that they will remember forever. And I have a grand dog that is that I think could be a singing. He's a golden. She's
a golden
verbal. I've never seen a dog be able to talk to somebody. So
that's so great, though.
I think we'll see pet therapy grow and grow. I mean, they're being used in schools now, with children, and there's just so much, so much.
It also helps the staff. That's the thing. We all know the caregivers. We have been caregivers for someone with dementia and Alzheimer's. It can be very challenging. And just to get that, it's a physical thing. So the endorphins and the serotonin are pumped in. It lowers blood pressure. Those are the things. So, this is kind of a thing that it has made us very community oriented, and people want to come to us because honestly, if you say Hospice of Southern Illinois, they want to turn around and walk away. But now with these tools, with Dementia Live experience, and also with the pet therapy, people are asking for us. They're coming to us. They're seeking the information. And with the book, I feel like that's just another resource. And the resources that you all have on your coach resources is amazing. I send them out all the time. People are seeking us out. And this is the deal. You can use us as a tool. And that's what is so exciting. We are helping people. Like, you can see it in real time. And that's what fills my cup and fills her cup. And it's better to be a community.
I don't know how you both find the time, your team, find the time to do it all.
It's easy when you
is.
love it.
It is.
When you
It's
love it.
It's
But
a joy. It's not even, it's not work at all. It isn't work. I think that we come in the mornings and we talk about, when we look at our calendars and they're full.
yeah.
And it's like, okay, where are we going to put this one? I don't know. We're gonna have to find another time. Can you go? I don't know. Maybe you can go. Okay, you do that one and I'll do that one. It's been really good. Really good.
I'm a big believer in your work being purposeful, and when it's purposeful, then it's not a job, right? It's something
Right.
you
Exactly
that is
right.
true.
thrive in doing every day, and both of you are perfect examples of that.
Well, we honestly appreciate it because
Yes.
this is, you can tell, because we are in facilities and people say, oh, I understand now why such and such does this behavior, because 86% of their behavior is what's going on around them. And the thing of it is it could be nothing that we do. We could be doing everything perfect, but it's something that's going on in their head. And that's where we have to go where they're at. They can't come into our world, but we can go into theirs. And that right there is the key. And if you feel it and feel the anxiety of it, and just know that they are there, and we can't change that, but we can change our behavior with them and help them feel a little bit more at ease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where I feel like the success rate that we have seen in our numbers and so forth to see, and it was with your program.
That warms my heart, obviously, to hear that. And to hear that this has been part of what has built trust and built your relationships in the community.
Yes.
And what's given, as you said, if they might turn away if they hear Hospice of Southern Illinois, but now they don't do that because they know the resources and the passion you have to really be able to help people. And you're doing that. So.
And we really believe that, Pam, this is a positive message, and our goals, what we strive for in all that we do in our community, is to help people better understand that death and dying is not, it's not a horrible thing. Yes, loss is difficult. It is difficult to lose someone that you love, but it is also a part of life, and we're all going to do it. We just don't know when. And all that we do at Hospice of Southern Illinois is the comfort and the support. We want our patients and our families to be comfortable in the position that they're in, what they're having to go through. We want them to have some level of comfort and some level of peace. And we also want to make sure that we are there for them when they need us and provide that support. And if that is clinical support, emotional support, spiritual support, whatever that might be, we want to be that person. We're trying to get the positive message out about hospice care and about Hospice of Southern Illinois, so that when people hear the word hospice, they don't turn and run. They're not afraid of it, that they truly understand that we are here to help.
And we are about life. We are about living the best life possible. And it is our clinical supervisor. She started in OB and she's ending in her career and end of life. And she said they're a lot alike, and it's just how you look at it. Because a lot of people want to know how long is it going to be, and that's how it is with the beginning of life and at the end of life. A lot of people, it should be a celebration and for the beginning and end, because your loved one is going to no longer be hurting and they're going to a better place. So that's where we like to change the narrative, and it is about life, and we are about living.
What a great message.
Yes.
Wow. You're doing great things.
Thank you.
And thank you both for taking the time to share. You are such valued partners of AGE-u-cate. We appreciate all you're doing in spreading our mission of educating people. And you're doing it in such a beautiful way.
Thank you.
So
It's a
thank you.
pleasure. It is a pleasure.
Well, it is.
I want to be number one.
Yeah, I know you do. Keep those numbers going.
I will. Don't you worry about that.
All right. Well, thank you both so much. And
Thank
I
you.
look forward to more conversations with you.
Same.
So,
Thank you.
all right. Thank you both.
Have a blessed day.
God bless
You
you.
too. Bye-bye.
Bye.